a quorum is present. I therefore declare the meeting open. I would like to introduce my fellow directors who are present here today. Tom Pokorski, the company's Managing Director and CEO. Paul Donnelly, the company's Lead Independent Director. The company's non-executive directors, Nicholas Oldendorf and Mel Ashton. And our senior executives, the Chief Financial Officer, Benjamin Fash, and the Chief Legal Officer, Spencer Smith. I would also like to introduce our Associate Company Secretary, Sophia Huang. As the notice convening this meeting was sent to all shareholders on the Fluence Corporation Limited Register in accordance with the company's constitution, unless there are any objections, I intend to take the notice of meeting and explanatory statement as read. We are conducting today's meeting using a virtual method. Shareholders who are attending online will be able to participate and view the live webcast of the meeting, ask questions, and if appropriate, as proxy, cast votes at the appropriate time whilst the meeting is in progress. Our Associate Company Secretary, Sophia, will now outline the Q&A as well as the voting procedures for today's meetings.
Thanks, Doug. As mentioned earlier, shareholders will be able to participate today, ask questions, and cast direct votes at the appropriate times whilst the meeting is in progress. Shareholders may ask questions by sending us a text or request audio to speak. Please know that we may experience some time lag, and this may cause some delay in your text questions or comments coming to our attention. We encourage you to lodge them as early as you can. Shareholders wishing to ask questions via text, please select the Q&A icon located at the bottom of your screen. Type your name and who you represent along with your questions in the Ask a Question box and press Send. Your questions will be addressed at the appropriate time. Shareholders wishing to speak and ask a question, an audio facility is available during this meeting. Please select the Raise Hand icon located at the bottom of your screen. You will be placed on queue and authorized to speak when we reach the Q&A session. Prior to asking your questions, please state your full name and who you're representing. Regarding voting on today's resolutions, all shareholders, proxy holders, and authorized corporate representatives who are entitled to vote will be able to do so via the webinar poll. It is important to know that if you've already lodged a proxy form and voted prior to the meeting, you do not need to vote again at this meeting unless you wish to change your proxy instructions. For those proxy holders, shareholders, and authorized corporate representatives who have not yet voted prior to the meeting, please cast your votes on each of the resolutions when the poll is opened. For proxy holders, you would have a summary of proxy votes which detail the voting instructions. By completing the voting via the webinar poll, you are deemed to have voted in accordance with those instructions. Where the chair has been appointed proxy on behalf of the shareholder, the chair of the meeting intends to vote this in favor of all the resolutions. For shareholders, proxy holders, and authorized corporate representatives who intend to vote today, please observe the following poll voting instructions. When a poll is declared open, a window will appear. To vote, simply select the direction in which you would like to cast your vote. The selected option will be marked. To submit your vote, simply click on the Submit button. You will have the ability to change your vote up until the time voting is closed. I'll now hand to Doug to conduct the formal resolutions for today.
Thank you, Sophia. I will now move to the formal business of today's meeting. Before opening the poll, I wish to remind shareholders that the poll will remain open for an additional minute or two after we have considered all resolutions. I now declare the poll open. I now refer you to the first item of business as sent out in the notice of meeting. If you have a question on this item of business, please follow the questioning process which was previously outlined. We will address your questions after the last resolution. The first resolution in today's notice of meeting relates to the ratification of agreement to issue options to Benjamin Fash. The proxies received will respect to each item of business at today's meeting and are outlined in the presentation displayed on the screen. I move that the shareholders consider and, if thought fit, pass the ordinary resolution. I now move to Resolution 2, which relates to the approval of the termination benefits to Benjamin Fash. The proxies received are outlined in the presentation displayed on the screen. I move that the shareholders consider and, if thought fit, pass the ordinary resolution. As the following resolutions 3A and 3B relate to matters concerning myself, I will hand the chair to Paul Donnelly to conduct the resolutions 3A and 3B. Thank you, Paul.
Thank you, Doug. I now move to Resolution 3A and 3B, which relate to the approval of conversion of interest to shares. The proxies received with respect to 3A and 3B are outlined in the presentation displayed on the screen. I move that shareholders consider and, if thought fit, pass the ordinary resolutions 3A and 3B. I now hand the chair back to Doug to conduct the Q&A session. Thank you.
Thank you, Paul. We will now go to shareholders' questions for these resolutions.
Chair, so far no questions received. Well, we can now give the shareholders a minute or two to complete the poll voting.
As the additional time is now up, I now declare the poll closed. Ladies and gentlemen, since the poll is now closed and there is no other business that can be brought forward at this meeting, I declare the meeting closed. After the votes have been counted, the results of the poll will be released to the ASX later today. We thank you for your attendance and we look forward to your continued support. Thank you very much.